Hello, I'm Paul Pluter and welcome to Paul Pluter Prestige. Today I answer the question, what wristwatch should you wear when facing the bankruptcy courts? That's right, your business has gone bust, the leased Mercedes S-Class has been repoed, and things are just very tight. And you've found that it's easier to declare bankruptcy and reinvent yourself down the track. And I must say, bankruptcy legislation is a great way to wriggle out of obligations, and it's a very good financial tool to build one's wealth. Now, when you're facing the bankruptcy trust itself there, it's very important you come across as conservative and a victim. You want to have that victim sort of status. And you should very much so hide any yellow gold pieces on a yellow gold bracelet. They scream obscene spending. You're much better off to go to these type of tribunals with a Patek complication on your wrist, and you can truthfully look the judge in the eye and say, I own nothing but what I stand in. Now, you may be wearing a 3970 perpetual calendar chronograph Patek, but the judge sees just a simple wristwatch. The wonderful thing about a Patek Philippe is that many of their vintage models look like extremely cheap wristwatches to the non-connoisseur. And if one presents oneself to the tribunal with a high-end Patek on their wrist, it's very likely that piece would not go recognized. In fact, fighting bankruptcy, the Yakuza in Japan is notorious for collecting and investing in vintage Rolex pieces, especially Daytonas, Submariners, Sea Dwellers, and they often use these as currency because the Japanese government, when it clamps down on mafia-type activities, will seize assets. Wristwatches are very portable, very cashable, and represent an easy way to take out wealth from one country and transplant it into another. And this is a wonderful form of concealing earnings from ill-gotten gains. And the same can be said for the businessman who's lived the life and has suffered from the sword. So he can very easily put money into Patek complications and look like he has nothing, whereas he has $500,000 in his briefcase. It's a very useful tool to transfer assets, and it's also a tool which can be used for divorce minimization responses. And sometimes these angry wenches will attack your assets, and maybe if you own 30 high-end Pateks, do you really need to own an apartment? Is that a good asset, to start a new life with the 22-year-old bimbette that responds to the name Becky? This is an interesting question, but the important thing is, before the bankruptcy hearing, you need to present yourself as honest, hard-working, reliable, and you also need to present yourself as conservative. And my recommendations would be to stay away from the complicated Pateks with diamonds in the lugs. If the lighting was poor, that could bring unnecessary attention to your wrist. So I would stay away from any of the complicated Pateks that have the diamonds in the lugs, because that could reveal your true game plan. I'm Paul Pluter from Paul Pluter Prestige. I hope this tip has been useful.